Hey guys, back with single issue reviews. It's from today and from the past week. Before we kick into that, let me thank you. Let me thank you for all the feedback that you gave me. I made a video last week. You can watch it here, in which I asked you guys what do you think I should focus more on or less on. Just refining my YouTube videos a little bit. And you had some really cool ideas. I was blown away by it, especially because some of you guys I never interacted before. So it was a surprise that some of you are following me, and the silent watchers who had some really thoughtful things to say. So thank you again, and I hope I can achieve some of the things that are in my head right now. But let's get back to the review business. I have here a lot of single issues. I don't know, maybe I was a bit tired today or whatever. I didn't felt it, but I think it was like a pretty underwhelming 2 weeks of single issues. There were some nice ones, and I will highlight those, but the other ones I will skip through really fast. Okay, let's kick it off with Bloodshot number 14. Bloodshot, it's Valiant. Valiant's most prominent hero. He's about to star in his own film. They have a fantastic creators on this series. It's Jeff Lemire writing and Miko Suayan on the art. Also, David Barron is doing the colors, and it looks really cool. Check it out. It's really fancy stuff. The story is, I don't know, I would say like Valiant's answer to the Hunger Games. So Bloodshot is stranded on an island. He finds some other guys who are also stranded there, and all of them have to survive some really strange, how should I put it, phenomenon. I don't want to spoil anything, so I will say it's just a phenomenon. But okay, the cover spoils it a little bit. So there is an antagonist on this island, and everyone wants to survive. Read it in 3 minutes. Art is really nice. It's a nice jumping on point if you want to check out Bloodshot and you haven't before. It's cool. Next up, let me talk about a new indie publisher who entered the market. It's Z2 Comics, and I read the first debut issues of Indoctrination and The Sweetness, and I was pretty impressed. The standard was really high. It could have been like a Dark Horse comic or a Boom comic or even an Image book. Especially Indoctrination was really cool, and I liked it because it's not the run-of-the-mill sci-fi fantasy thing, but more of a crime procedural thriller dealing with Islamist terrorism. If you look at the media, it's full of Islamist terrorism. A lot of documentaries, articles, everything, books on it. Not so much in the comics. It's strange, right? Because of course this is escapist literature, and you're not supposed to be preoccupied when writing science fiction with the all too normal dangers of everyday life. But I think you should actually. I think this works best when you think of Preacher or not, a lot of good books that deal with the real life problems in a more, let's say, exaggerated way. And the art is really nice. I know the cover didn't grab me. It looks pretty generic, but the inside is really cool. I also like the coloring. It's very moody. Look at this art. So it's well worth your time. It didn't completely blow me away yet, but I will be back for number 2. Same goes for The Sweetness, which is a very weird sci-fi thing. It's well told by Miss Laska Gross, and it's well drawn by Mr. Kevin Golden. I don't know what to make of it yet, but in a good way. So it's written really nicely, but you don't know where it's going. You don't know. It's not. Maybe it's not the perfect number 1 issue. It doesn't have like a big. Yeah, it's not thrilling you in a way that you need to know where this is going, but it's enjoyable to read. So I will be back for number 2 of Sweetness 2, and those are 2 Z2 comics you should watch out for. Okay, let's get back to more well-known books. There is Paper Girls number 7. You know everything of Paper. I mean, Paper Girls is super well known. It's by Kevon, Cliff Chang. So I don't have to tell you anything about it other than it's quite an emotional punch towards the end of the issue. It really got me, and I think this is what I missed most about the other issues and single issues I read. You know, I need to get emotional. I need to get something out of it. Not just like this happens and then this happens and then this happens. I need to feel it. And this made me feel something, and yeah, it's still pretty good, I have to say. Next up, Symmetry number 5. This is the starting point of a new act, the second act, the second paperback probably. And it's pretty good. The art by Mr. Raphael Yanko is still phenomenal. I mean, this is some really fantastic paintings here. And look at this, it's crazy good. And the writing by Matt Hawkins is cool, but it's a little bit too distant. I think it's describing a lot of stuff, and stuff is happening really fast. This is a good thing about it. And you know that I love the first paperback. I made a review. If you haven't seen it yet, check it out. I really loved the first paperback, so I was eager to get back into it, but then it jumps ahead 20 years. We have new characters, and yeah, I think we'll need a few more issues to get into the vibe of this second act, but it's still a very good comic. You should definitely give it a try. Green Arrow number 2. I really like the drawings here. Look at this spread page. It's amazing. I really enjoyed it. The story, I don't know, it's okay, I guess. But it's the art that sold me here. And I really wanted it to be a good number 2, because now this is like the 3rd Rebirth issue, and I wanted to decide by the 3rd issue if I will stay with it or not, and I can't really say it with Green Arrow. It's nice, it's decent, it's not a must read though. So we'll see if I will be back for another one. This is Batman number 2 by Tom King and David Finch. And yeah, it's good. Again, it's not mind-blowing. It's not as well-paced as issue 1, which was really just like judging from the composition of the story and the story beats and how the action played out. It was fantastic. This is merely a good issue. it's like all those second issues are a lot harder to write because you have to bring the punch in the first, and in the second you try to, you know, bring in a little more characters, building up the whole story, and same goes for Aquaman #2. This has a very surprise turn in that, you know, the story started basically one issue ago, maybe like two if you count the Rebirth one shot, and it's already kind of getting a closure, which is strange by the #2. And it read like a superhero book. It was nice, but again, will I stay with it? I think I will give it one more try with #3, and then I will decide. Art Ops #9. People, just print a recap page in the beginning. This is like a really crazy story to begin with, and if you wait like 4 or 5 weeks to continue it, you're just super lost trying to find out where it's heading. So it was fun. I just read it. It's nice. Crazy stuff happens as always in Art Ops, but I wouldn't say that I really understood what is happening, but I just went with it. The author is definitely one to watch for. Simon is his second name, and I always forget his first. Really sorry about that. It also takes me now 2 million years to get to the page. It's Sean Simon, and I really hope that Sean Simon will be part of Young Animal, you know, the new sub-label with the new cool stuff from DC / Vertigo. It's like, you know, Shelley Bond and Vertigo are pretty much done. I mean, Shelley Bond was, her contract was killed. She went away from Vertigo, and I think the label is dead in a way. It's, you know, the good times are past, and they're trying to build up a new one, and Sean Simon would be a good writer for Young Animal. And then this is a very strange comic. I told you that I really started to enjoy more and more like Avatar comics because of their super gory nature, and this is like gore and porn, you know. And porn comics are like a very strange thing, and I don't know anybody who ever reviews them or buys them or whatever. But they do exist. They still exist, one has to say. I mean, you have an internet full of free porn, but there are still comics out there. It's strange. It's also strange that, I mean, it's a $6 book to begin with, but if you want to have like a really, really, you know, pornish cover. I mean, this is like already, this is TNA standard, but if you want to see genitals on your cover, you have to pay $2 more, which is so weird. I really don't get it. Why would you buy a cover and pay $2 more just to have one image of drawn naked ladies more? Because you can just flip the page. I won't show, only shortly. I will look for something which is not that dangerous to show, like this, and you can see it's professionally drawn and colored. And you know, I almost felt a little bit for the artist, who is pretty capable. I mean, it's not out of this world great, but it's pretty good. And the story is, as you'd expect, nothing to write home about. It's about vampires, and there are satyrs, you know, the guys who are half human, half other animals, versus vampires. This is basically the story. The story is pretty simple, and the writer likes to, you know, to repeat every of his thoughts and turns in story numerous times, and during this story the story is happening in a way, and you can see, some licking of genitals and some sodomy and some other stuff. uh, it's a weird concept. I was just curious what this is all about. They have a whole line, it's called what is it called? Yeah, Boundless Comics. um, I mean, it's okay. It's like a lot of pages for $6. They reprint a book in the middle of it. It's called The Origin of the Whole Thing. If you really want to go more into the mythos of it, and it's more like, bad girl from the 90s stuff. I want to show you one page which sums up, or a double page which sums up everything about this comic. It's a different artist because it's the flashback story. It's from the 90s, and it's hard to not see that it's from the 90s. It's really, really badly drawn and badly written. So yeah, you should, if you're like really interested what this whole thing is about, you can give it a try. But other than that, just don't, because I did it for you, and I can tell you that it's not very interesting. If you like porn, as basically everyone does, you don't need this comic to enjoy porn. Okay, thanks very much for watching, and I'll be back with a haul video next week, and also probably a special on one of my favorite cartoonists. Until then, have a good life, and thank you for watching. Bye bye.